Before planning my music video, I researched thoroughly into various genres of music videos and how they are advertised along with the bands or artists and how they are portrayed to the audience. A theorist that I studied that helped me analyse and understand what conventions are used in music videos was Andrew Goodwin and his theory of music videos. This theory involves points that need to be met in order to create a successful music video. The first point is the genre of the music. This could be whether the genre was pop, dance, house, metal or indie rock, etc. Secondly, the sound and vision of the music video, and whether there is a relationship between the lyrics and visuals. Also, the star image is crucial to every music video. Depending on the genre, the star's image will differ to suit the certain music and style of the video. Goodwin also sees voyeurism as a convention. He looks at how gender is represented in music videos. It is important that I thoroughly studied these points and imperative that I adapted them to my music video. I used a small indie rock pop 4-piece from Glasgow, Bright Young Nights, for my advanced portfolio. Therefore, I looked thoroughly into the genres of indie rock and indie pop. I researched bands such as the Cribs, Arctic Monkeys, the Maccabees, the Strokes and the Vaccines. I looked at what conventions they used within their videos, such as the narrative and performance, the choice of actors, clothing and edits that is used in their videos that makes them successful. It came to my attention that there was a good balance between the use of narrative and the use of performance. For example, a lot of Arctic Monkeys videos focused a lot on narrative, whereas the Cribs focused a lot on the performance aspect and subtly hinted at the narrative of the video. Therefore, it allowed me to have a wide range of ideas for my video and kept my options open for planning. I decided to focus more on the narrative aspect of the music video, which responds to Goodwin's theory as I've shown a link between the lyrics and narrative in my music video.
Your love is like a sturdy leather headlock. You kiss it cold, pet creases in.
I used a Suck It and See music video by Arctic Monkeys as a big inspiration for my narrative, as it follows the relationship of a young couple. I used a similar narrative as I also follow a relationship between two teenagers, Sally and Blake, who are in love but cannot be together. This is because Blake believes Sally is too good for him, especially because his character portrays a reckless teenager with no future ahead of him. When studying the Suck It and See music video, I used Seymour Chapman's narrative theory of the kernels and satellites throughout music videos. A kernel is a key motivation moment that is pivotal to the development of the story, plot or character, whereas a satellite helps move the story along as an embellishment, development or diversement from the main structure, which may be useful. I drew out a timeline of the Suck It and See music video. It was imperative that I use symbolic devices that show the relationship between the young couple that I have used for my music video. I used objects such as cigarettes as a symbolic metaphor for the reckless lifestyle that Blake lives, and a metaphor for how Sally and Blake both feel when they break up. A satellite I used for my music video was you see Sally and Blake hugging, then he pushes her away, which follows Sally slapping Blake. Throughout the music video you see the relationship between Sally and Blake slowly deteriorating and eventually break up. Blake reacts to this breakup badly and takes his anger out by smashing up a hotel room. This is creating the star image in this indie rock music video, which Goodwin believes is one in every music video. This is because the angry persona Blake is portraying that is appealing towards the audience, as the indie rock audience are interested in this type of persona. I presented Blake as the stronger member of the relationship. This is because I noticed that in a lot of indie rock music videos there was a lot of male dominance, especially because most indie rock bands are male based. However, it came to my attention in indie rock CD packs and promotional posters. They tend to advertise something more extravagant and different when advertising their music, rather than just a simple photograph of their band. Therefore, when creating my digipack and promotional poster, I aimed to be more creative than just photographing the band, as I felt it would have a slight epic look that I wanted to stay away from. Therefore, I photographed Sally, who is shown in the music video for both the promotional poster and the digipack. This allows the audience to recognise Sally when they see her on the promotional poster and digipack once they have seen the music video, which persuades them to buy the album. I used voyeurism within my own music video by addressing the attractive female in little clothing, making her appealing to the audience, whether it was male or female. Also, the camera angles that I used in my music video and ancillary products, such as high angle and close-ups, complement her figure and pretty face, engrossing the audience into the video. My main production and my ancillary text form a coherent promotional campaign, as my star is consistently seen as a star image throughout the music video and both promotional poster and digipack. For example, her persona she portrays in the music video is seen as innocent, with a sense of depression in stages of the video. Therefore, in my ancillary products, Sally is evoking this depression by smoking. For other parts of the digipack, I photographed vinyl. I done this because I believe indie rock music is real. Therefore, I think vinyl determines where real music comes from. Also, the indie rock genre is very popular to the modern day subculture. Therefore, the use of vinyl attracts the audience. On both the digipack and promotional poster, I advertised the band name Bright Young Nights very clearly. This was so the audience were able to see, recognise and remember the name of the band. I also highlighted the album in the single title, Baby You're a Dreamer. And as this is also the chorus in the music video, it is forming a relationship between my ancillary products and my music video. The media technology that I used when creating my advanced portfolio progressively excelled as I worked further on it. Once I'd researched and got the ideas for my own digipack and promotional poster, I used a stills camera to capture my photographs of Sally. I'd done several different photo shoots, so I was able to get a variety of different photographs. One shoot I went on with Sally, I used chiaroscuro lighting when photographing in the studio. I did this so I could make a mysterious effect, so I was able to create a coherent response between my music video and my ancillary products. Another photo shoot that I used the stills camera for was when I photographed the vinyl records. When photographing these, I used a slow shutter speed to create a different and more creative effect. Once I photographed and was happy with my outcomes, I then uploaded all of my photographs to Adobe Bridge, which I could then work with Adobe Photoshop from that program. I selected my best images and edited them to make them a lot more interesting and appealing to the audience. I started with tools such as changing the curves and then began to experiment by changing photographs to black and white, adding more layers so I could add a solid colour and bring down the opacity. I used a grained filter which allowed me to create a mysterious effect that I set out to achieve. Therefore, I needed to turn this photograph into a promotional poster. I did this by adding different text layers to inform the audience on the name of the band and album. I made sure this writing was clear, bold and visible to the audience, as it is a very crucial part when advertising the band. When creating my digipack, I also used Adobe Photoshop. I began with making a new page with international paper at an A3 size. I ensured the page was landscape and added ruled lines so I had an outline of 6 different boxes. I also used text layers to add the album and song names and lyrics from different songs. I began to plan my music video. I did this by hand and created a brainstorm of different ideas that I had. Once I decided all of these, I went on my first filming shoot with Sally and Blake. I used a filming recording camera. For some shots I used a handheld camera, such as when I am following Blake's actions. This was because I wanted to create a more personal relationship between the audience and Blake. I also used a tripod for other shots, such as establishing and full shots. Some other film locations were some such as a car park and Sally's bedroom. I used a lot of low-angle shots for the bedroom location to evoke Sally's depression and innocence. For the car park location, I used full shots, especially when you see Sally walking away from the camera, and as my aim was to show Sally leaving Blake and the relationship at this point, the full shot is now evoking her strength and power. After filming at the different locations, I began to edit my footage by using Adobe Premiere Pro. I done this by using the razor tool. To make my shots more appealing and interesting, I used video effects such as Gaussian blur effect and changing the colour correction to change the brightness and contrast. I merged 2 different layers and took down the opacity so I could show 2 different shots at one time. I asked people to look at my advanced portfolio. I made sure I asked people of all different ages and people with different interests so I was able to receive a varied feedback. A lot of my audience mentioned the shots that I use in both my music video and ancillary products, as they think they capture the personalities of the characters very well. For example, an 18-year-old female said they can sympathise with Sally's character when Blake pushes her away and leaves her. However, the consistent feedback I was receiving from male teenagers was that the girl was very attractive, therefore they are focusing on what Sally looks like rather than how she feels. Another thing that came up a lot from my audience feedback was how I did not apply very much performance to my music video, and as this is advertising the music, they would have liked to see more of Blake singing or maybe scenes of the band playing. Overall, I am happy with my outcome from both my music video and ancillary products. I've achieved what I set out to do, and I've taken this feedback as constructive criticism and taken it into